Happy after 10 and a half hours on a flight from New Jersey.
I'm in Israel.
I'm in Tel Aviv.
What's up, brother? How are we doing?
My father came from Cuba in 1960 to the United States of America. Met my mother in Miami, and she is Jewish. It's very special to be in Israel for me and for this group, but I'm glad to be here. I'm excited to hear the perspective from Jews here in Israel.
And honestly, it's been on my bucket list, and I never thought I would get the opportunity to come.
Well, we're just above the border of the Gaza Strip, so just a couple hundred yards south of us is the Gaza Strip, and it has a long border. It's actually 9 meters, about 25 feet tall.
Is that part of what's going on in your culture and what's happening here in this town that is so threatened on a daily basis? Your children had to know where the nearest bomb shelter is, right?
There were 3 mortars that are actually a handmade mortar. They're made out of sort of a pipe and some fins on it, and they would launch those across the border. They have about 15-20 seconds in order to get out of the way and get to a bomb shelter. So
they are living under the threat of attack 24/7 here. Their kids have bomb shelters for bus shelters.
Is that little boy? Is my grandson, Jonathan.
It's a way of life that is obviously a way of life. It's not one that any of us in America would even comprehend or think about, and yet it's a daily reality to these folks.
In Israel, there are all these walls. There's the wall at Gaza and walls throughout the West Bank. And even when you're at the Golan Heights, you're thinking about the border with Syria. And then every now and again, you turn a corner and it's all about peace.
Sometimes the city was split up into 2. Let's stay together.
Jerusalem is a holy city. It's a city that has been here for thousands of years and is special to 3 great religions.
We were able to watch them welcome in Shabbat at the Western Wall, and we saw people praying solemnly at the wall, and behind us there were people singing and dancing.
One visitor once told me, Dan, until you actually go to Israel, you just won't totally understand the relevance of its size, of its importance in the Bible, where Jesus walked, where he preached, and today. Its close proximity to the enemy.
Well, you obviously don't have to look very far to see the opportunities for conflict that exist all over this land. You have young soldiers with machine guns strapped to their shoulders walking around the cities and walking around the towns of Israel because they know that on every border, at every turn, there's potentially somebody that wants to destroy their way of life.
We had a great visit with the Israeli Defense Forces. They have a counterterrorism training school where they take young men and women and train them in the latest techniques because they face a lot of threats.
We went to the Golan Heights at the border with Syria and heard firsthand from a general who was involved in a tank battle about his experience defending his country.
Iowa Lieutenant Governor Kim Reynolds is heading to Israel tomorrow to talk economic development. Reynolds is joining the Republican Lieutenant Governors Association for meetings with Israeli government, military, and business leaders.
I'm very proud. We are very proud of our state, Florida.
We're doing great things in Las Vegas and Reno and all throughout Nevada.
So our farmers really play a critical role in not only feeding and fueling, but healing the world.
Crayfish has made economic development one of her goals in office. She touted meetings in Israel, which included a sit-down with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Israeli water officials.
In Israel, something happens that we are different too. When Jews come to Israel, all of a sudden they are good in agriculture and they plant and it grows.
It's time to go home.
Israel's a land of innovation, economic development, and an example unmatched around the world of a country of resolve.
Israel is a great land of opportunity and innovation. You don't have to look too far across this country to see the amazing things that are going on and the growth that's taking place for a country that's only been around since 1948 in modern history. And you look at Jerusalem and Tel Aviv and Haifa and you see some of the world's leading companies, innovators, corporations that are setting up shop because of the intellectual capital.
It was an incredible trip, and everyone who goes to Israel, they're always asked when you will be back. I don't know the date or the time, but I will be back.